There's so much. I think the thing that stood out a lot was the fact that nobody was consulted on the player side of things. That after, and this is what I said 2 days ago, they don't care. They don't care. So let's just stop pretending they do. I would think that would make everyone a little more comfortable. They did all of this in the dark of night without once talking to the Players Association, talking to the players after months of pretending like they were doing all that, the facade of we are listening to you, let's open up the dialogue, and then they do this anyways. I also think it's interesting that we've decided to take the owner's definition of the word freedom rather than the actual definition of the word freedom. You want to take out the NFL players? Fine, let's do that. Let's say flight attendants were forced to do the anthem before you took off every time, and they decided, you know what, for various reasons, for many reasons, I don't want to. Would we have such a big deal? But a lot of people want to bring millionaires into the argument, which is completely irrelevant as far as it goes. There are parts in the world where they are forced to stand for that country's anthems, and we pride ourselves on not being like those countries. And yet, here we are, forcing this fake moment of patriotism because of what they have decided is a scarier version of reality, a tweet from Washington, D.C., or wherever it may come from, versus alienating the other half of the fan base, people like me who are angry about this. I live in America. I have freedoms. You don't get to decide what that means. It means what it means, period. And if I don't like something my country has done, I still love my country, but I have a right to show that in some way that I deem fit.
And it's just amazing, a year and a half or 2 years, it's just baffling to me that the NFL and the owners are still grappling on what to actually do with this situation, yet they're not communicating with their players, who are ultimately the people who were demonstrating during the national anthem. Also, when you say that certain players can stay in the locker room and certain players can take the field, all you're doing is dividing the locker room. This is a divide and conquer tactic. You just alluded to it. You're pandering to one side, but you're alienating the other side. And what has happened here is people just think that on one side, the dollar has power. Well, the dollar has power on both sides. And this protest is what led to now Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed, who initiated this, are both looking for jobs. There's no coincidence there. So it just, I can't understand how bad the NFL continues to handle this. Memorial Day weekend, we're talking about this. We didn't ask to talk about, this wasn't on our rundown 2 days ago.
No.
The NFL decided, for some strange reason, this is the week, the same day that a video gets released in Milwaukee of a basketball player.
Yep.
Going through a situation with the police department, which is why this is happening. People aren't necessarily demonstrating against the flag. And that has gotten hijacked by all of the rhetoric that surrounded this topic.
Yeah, to be clear, this week was the owners' meeting, so perhaps that's why the timing of it, but they certainly didn't have to announce it this week if they didn't choose to. I just want to reiterate that we have reached out to 7 different, or at least have had 7 different owners of NFL teams decline invitations to appear on the show. Those invitations absolutely stand, and having heard what D. Smith said, if any of the owners of a National Football League team or any executives at the NFL offices would like to come on and respond, obviously they are 100% welcome here.